at the start against Vitality. Let's see if they can try that here against Astralis. They'll be starting on T side with a fast play.
And Molly will take the angles away from the roof to stop the push down, but one of them's got lost, and Stair will take control in that regard at the very least up top. But downstairs, where the bomb looks to get planted, HS by the double doors. Milky dropped in isolation. Stereo frags for Astralis on B as HS is dropped in the bombs on the floor. Olimp and SNX remain, and now it's just the latter as the former has been smoked. 1v4 made 3 for SNX. Plenty of work to do. Perhaps 2 pistols will be better than the 1, but will it be enough? All these CTs on the way. Buzz showing, looking for that trade fragger SNX as he tries to fall back, but there's no good angle for him, and Astralis take the pistol.
Solid start for Astralis. ORKS try that vent drop, and I like the idea of starting with pace, seeing if you can catch Astralis a little sleepy, a little shaky at the start. Pretty well handled here. Stair gets 1 kill up top, and then these frags down lower basically denied the bomb plant as well, which is always a great thing to do on the pistol. See a nice reaction there from Astralis, looking composed in this matchup where they know they are big favorites. They will force ORKS onto a very weak buy and a chance for Device to make some early money. He wants that AWP as soon as possible. Those SMG kills will help.
That's such a minimal buy for a P250. Even if you throw your Glock away, if you survive the end of a round, you'll get given another one at the beginning of the next one. That's how little of a buy it is. 2-0 for Astralis. MP9s, yeah, exactly. The MP9s could be fun. Can take some dirty angles. Lots of HEs as well on the Astralis side. An organization, let's say, obviously the roster has changed, but an org which forced teams to raise their game and find every efficiency with grenades and such. So I'm very curious to see what all those HEs will do.
Definitely would not surprise me to see aggression at some point. Those nades coming into play early. A bit of tag damage onto 2 ORKS players. I'm sure that damage would have been confirmed as they were behind the smokes, but there's a spam from blameF as well. Great work from him on Yard. Gets the timing just right. He will eventually cross down lower, but good work on the Yard play, and here is that aggression. Olimp looks to handle it, but it's well traded by Device.
A lot of information gathering for Astralis. Bomb is on the move. Oh, they were lining up in the worst way for blameF, and it's an easy pickup for Device, leaving Milky as the last man. Bomb's on the floor for the time being. 51 HP for Milky. Question of damage. Device moves through the smoke. A nice gap for Milky. Now things become winnable. There is still a minute on the clock. He only knows where one of these 2 players are, though. He doesn't realize that they're both in the same position. Astralis maybe being careful with their sound cues. Milky continues to wonder where that other player is. 40 seconds now. Bomb very close to him. Device showing some elbow. Again, Milky still expecting that second CT to be anywhere else. Like a bait setup at the moment. Oh, their Stair dropped. Still, he doesn't know. Device has got 2 kills though, so have they been tracking? There he is. Not what they were expecting there. Always key to understand who it is you fragged and who it is you didn't. Of course, information gets older and older. Device could have been anywhere. 3-0 for Astralis.
Talked about those 2 star players for Astralis in the pregame, and they get all the kills between them in this first gun round. Great work from blameF on Yard, rotating down for big damage. Then the door opened briefly for Milky, especially after he got that second kill. Up so low on health from those earlier shots. Device had the cross on lock. blameF more aggressive on Yard this time. Only up against the pistols, but nice info early. Might allow Astralis to stack this A site a little more heavily in case those pistols want to rush that position.
They can fight me. That has to be the task. Great hold by Stair. That in 180 was very important indeed. Don't fancy SNX's chances then. He's asking to be given something, but there's little reason for Astralis to push, especially not having lost a single player just yet. So ORKS are going to be quite lacking in the fragging department so far. They would have liked to have taken more money away from the CTs. ORKS got 7k and only grenades to collect at spawn. So not too terrible a situation for Astralis, putting it mildly in a very British fashion. 4-0 on the CT side. It's fantastic. And again, the focus is on how many T rounds ORKS can collect in the series overall. Nuke is going to be a pretty difficult start, though.
Yeah, I think part of this map pick will be because of some of the weaknesses Astralis have shown on Nuke in the past, but not seeing those weaknesses right now on the Astralis front. They look pretty dialed in. The individuals playing a big part in that. You can see blameF having so much freedom on Yard. He was their best player yesterday in that loss against NIP. You saw a couple of highlights from him still. Milky looks like he is not really looking at that red position whatsoever. Will now be falling back. But the longer blameF sticks around here, the more useful it is for Astralis to have that info. He has backup as well. Buzz is pretty close by. He can really quickly help blameF if needed.
Yeah, it's a two-man setup. Easily made free, depending on what's happening. We spoke about the grenades, and now we start to see them. Beautiful work from Astralis. The detail on those HEs continues. And again, I think a team like ORKS and just the stage they're at, those are going to be ever more dangerous. But a team as efficient as Astralis on the util brutalize them with shrapnel, and there's nothing left for olimp to do. Astralis will move to 5. Buzz, Stare, Device, and Borup, all with just the one death in these 5 rounds.
It's been clinical, hasn't it, for Astralis? I love the read in this round as well. I think it's pretty common that teams will want to just run those Yard smokes pretty early on in a game. So why not flex a couple of players over towards Yard? Once those Yard smokes start to land, you can lob some nades in. It's just so disruptive there from Astralis. A really dynamic setup to have those players so ready to help towards Yard. Olimp will save, but this is looking like a much better Nuke from Astralis, and I hope that's a map that they can go back and be good on, because a lot of teams have been beating them on this map lately. I remember at Cologne, they played it against Na'Vi. Some of the simple rotations were looking really off for them, but here so far, they're just going and getting the kills so far forward, it doesn't matter.
Love that nade from Borup. He's just out of there immediately. Completely focused on Squeaky before the frag even comes through. A mixed bag from ORKS in round 6. And maybe the looser, chaotic nature of rounds such as these could be quite a tonic for them. Could be. Still Astralis at the end of the day. I think these kinds of teams are good measures as well. See how squads can deal with them. Astralis looking comfortable so far on the CT side of Nuke. The pick of ORKS if you're joining us late.
Buzz just burns so much of their utility. That one counter smoke basically brought all the flashes away from ORKS. So now you've got to rely on those AKs to do something. And on Nuke, it's especially hard to find openers on that T side. The angles are rarely favorable for you. Maybe they'll just try and go at Buzz dry instead.
Engages immediately. It's about the team, it's about the whole. Buzz and blameF. A lot of two-man setups for these two. Keep an eye on that on the CT side. Working well together as they rack up the frags on the B bomb site, and there is no answer from ORKS. All right, then, we are into round 7, and 4 of the Astralis players have only died once. This is not a good measure for ORKS. How many frags they're getting, how many bomb plants they're making. This is a very arid landscape for them. If they were farmers, they would have starved to death by now.
Yeah, it's not looked good for them. I think the issue is they're just losing so early in these rounds. Maybe if you force Astralis into rotations, you might make them make some mistakes. But Astralis are basically denying that every time. by just consistently getting kills so early in these rounds. I think you can see that Astralis are just so relaxed in this matchup. Until ORKS prove that they can compete here, Astralis won't have too much to be stressed about. Even in this buy, 3 Galils for ORKS. Focus the utility. Milky hasn't even got a helmet in this one. Kind of doesn't matter because there are so many AKs up against them. We'll see what ORKS decide to fall back on. Have been struggling, and again, blameF aggressive at yard. Astralis are putting so much emphasis on that yard possession. Not the nades again. Oh, it's so good!
Boy! So much damage. Before they've seen anyone, they are almost dragging carcasses forward at this point. Oh dear. Well, it's plan B then. Oh, that's plan C.
Wow.
Might be plan F, to be honest.
It's wild.
I respect it, but also it shows you just how down bad they are right now. This is pretty rough. Before, I don't know if they saw an Astralis player in that round.
They might not have.
I don't think they saw a single player. They got absolutely blasted with shrapnel. They're like, do you know what? I'm not feeling this. I'm out.
Oh, I feel so bad. Yeah, I literally just didn't get to play around. Just got double naded and boom. I mean, that's something ORKS are going to have to adapt to here. Maybe you put some players up on top of Silo, see if you could get an AWP presence there. Try and just make it so that Astralis don't have this free reign on yard. Yeah, you can look at the money on Astralis right now. Almost all of them above $10,000. That gives you a good idea as to how well this is going.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Vegi, again, I said, like, dragging carcasses, basically. So, rather than throw money at a problem and lose it all, save 4 guns, minimal buy to get a bit more. They are lacking on utility. May encourage them into a faster round. Let's not forget, towards the end of the previous T-half we saw from them versus Vitality, they did just go for a dry surge into the A-bomb site, and this utility may encourage them to do the same. How far will they get? Not very far at all. Crikey. It's like trying to cut steak with a plastic knife. Minimal success. No real mileage for ORKS on Nuke. 8-0 Astralis.
Yeah, this is well done. Oric with a molly down, stares quickly over to help, and because he's got that smoke on door, don't need to worry about Squeaky too early. You can just get those hut players out of there and then look back towards Squeaky a little later on. Now then, 8-0. ORKS take their time out. I figured it was only a matter of time before we saw the attempt at that A play. Even that is pretty well handled there. Astralis with the prompt counter utility.
Next buy round, they're going to try and take ramp, I reckon. They're going to try and take ramp and then go back to lobby. That's my call. Let's see what happens. First, we've got this linked bag where, again, you just got to try and spend money to drain money. 6k plus for CT to buy. So you can lose this money quickly, but Device is going to be losing money by winning rounds soon enough. He's got 14k in the bank, and blameF is taking absolute liberties now. Awkward.
What's going on?
Very awkward indeed.
All right, they finally find him. That's an AK. Should be recovered. blameF is just taking liberties right now. I'm all here for it. Some people have said in the past blameF doesn't get active enough. Chess wants his first kill on the board, but that AK has no bullets. He will have to wait a little longer. Here comes that gun round then.
Yeah, all right, let's see. Will they take ramp? Because... Bloody hell. I don't know if... I can't imagine they're going to, like, serve... I think at this point they might not be able to avoid those grenades outside without calling something on the fly and keeping the ship tight. Let's see if they go towards ramp.
Oh, maybe faster out through yard. Vegi's already got out into position. That might allow them to be a little more confident on their move through yard.
Very forward angle from device. Searching for blameF, a mini documentary featuring Vegi. Heading towards a minute 10 on the clock, and device sees nothing going towards that ramp position. And that gives Astralis a lot of information and expectation. Now, Astralis aren't in position to throw the HEs as they were previously. borup and blameF the last two with grenades. Device still holding the angle. Again, this is just so good for info. Oh, the trigger discipline, the patience, the information as well. There could be someone just up to his right towards the ladder. Outside's compromised then. 39 seconds on the clock. Astralis are expectant. There are enemies behind those smokes. Not much util. It's going to be about the guns now. Can ORKS deliver with this position? You can see borup positioning himself very carefully indeed. Down he goes though. Device can't save him. 3 on 4. Device now trying to stay alive, going for a quick scope, but that won't happen. Buzz doesn't have the position. ORKS have a chance for a round. 3 on 1, looking for their first. A 3K from HS, he's on the server. Buzz has 15K. Yeah, Buzz, he has too much money. The only thing worth that's consideration for a save is the AK-47. But he could just keep them poor as well by killing as many as he can. 3 will survive at the end of the round for ORKS, and they have got the monkey off their back for now.
Yeah, finally a round where they don't get denied early. They don't lose fights straight away in one of these rounds. Vice did get that kill in from Hut, but they're able to play it down into the late round and have this split into A. Just getting that yard presence made a big difference there. Vegi out early maybe made them a bit more confident that they could move into the advanced angles. And it was pretty well played on the split, and maybe something slightly faster. Vegi's in the midst of the smokes. Air tries to spam. He's not got much from his position. Oh, a team kill in there, but HS claims the frag. And the rotate denied by Milky. This fast A play working out.
Yeah, there's a chance for 6 rounds here. Suddenly we need to start considering it again. Money can disappear very quickly for a CT side. 2 on 3 though. Astralis might not be done with this one just yet as Device waits for an opportunity. But another molly is deployed. He just wants to throw his HE grenade. They've been so good for the squad, and HS might be the right man to receive it. The Device is going with it. Nothing doing there, and I think he'll be done with this one. A second round then for ORKS. Again, blameF is here to make it expensive. They'll focus on their money, and they'll take nothing from this whatsoever. Focusing on all the detail, all the opportunity.
A little surprised that SNX also goes up the ladder after blameF farms the first 2. That was that blind kill from HS though. They just got out through A quite quickly. And that might be an answer for ORKS here in some of these rounds. If you want to avoid blameF on yard, if you want to avoid that AWP of Device, sometimes going into A can be the way to do that. Getting Vegi out through door so early, I think, made a huge difference there in instead of Stair being able to spam the choke point and slow down the squeaky play, he was able to get out really fast. And you just saw the utility was good enough to turn those Astralis players into no real threats when they're blind, when they're struggling with the nades against them. So we'll see if ORKS can keep that up. Finally finding a couple of rounds here.
Fast pick from Milky, nothing doing there. Trying to do some more work before this becomes awkward for Astralis economy-wise. It's an aggressive duel from Buzz, an important one for Astralis. They don't want things to get out of hand towards the close of this half. Losing to Astralis yesterday, they find themselves versus the ORKS. They've made headway towards Secret.
Oh, that's so cheeky. Now the molly down as well, just really denying everything from ORKS yet. Big rotate down to B for Astralis though. Maybe a way back up to A for ORKS.
That was such a tight angle for blameF to get that frag. But even despite the smoke, can't imagine they'll expect ORKS to walk through that one. They've got good angles. Blame and Buzz. Again, Blame and Buzz, even high and low, covering the angles together. Working together to leave Vegi as the last one standing. Let's see, that Blame and Buzz combo is nice to keep an eye on the CT side. Working together despite being apart. Maybe it's a long, beautiful relationship they'll be having together in this team of Astralis. They move to 10. ORKS have run out of gas again. The money is low. Ground is looking dry once again. Dry and cracked. That's a very important duel, though. A big send from ORKS, a risk taken, but how tight this frag is. There is not much showing there at all.
Yeah, you saw the hesitation. blameF was almost considering, do I wait for the boosted player who's going to be the AWP to round the corner and just try and pre-fire that? Or do I just spam the player down below on a very tight angle? Credit to Blame, his spray control was brilliant to be able to pull that off. Loving how you can see that blameF is just so confident. He's basically just taking every fight that he feels is available to him. Really a joy to watch. Stair having a great game as well. Definitely a big part of the puzzle for Astralis. I think he was the most hyped up out of the prospects they brought in between him and Buzz. But Buzz has probably been the more eye-catching so far. To see Stair really show us what he's capable of. He's starting to do so here. Oh, a little leg shot from Device and an instant drop down.
That's a smiley face on the wall. Can't see it now because the smokes are there, but somebody has shot a smiley face into the wall. In a round such as this, what else is there to do?
Yeah, that's fair, honestly. Oh, the nades? Not quite. It's Buzz and Blame again, though. Well, it's only Buzz, apparently. He'll take that. Nice little quad kill. That's always the one benefit you might get as the ramp player. You sometimes get those eco rushes where you just get a big mow down. You got to farm those stats as the ramp player. You deserve them.
I was looking at the Counter-Strike workshop earlier, and I think in the most subscribed maps, I think 2 of the top 10 or 12 were Mirage guides, like grenade maps and so on. I do wonder if ORKS would have picked Mirage had it not been vetoed by Astralis, because it's all technical maps, which is, as we have seen, as we are seeing, and as we probably will see, going to be a very tough task versus a team with tenure. Going to be very, very hard for ORKS. But there are plenty of lessons to be learned in these losses should they lose this map, as they lost yesterday's maps and so on. In these technical fights. A lot of it is depth though, which will come in time. Just need to play, as we heard in the interview yesterday with Flames. Simply gonna need to play a lot. Certainly playing in this round though. Bomb's been dropped though, that's a problem. Vegi's in the reds. The advantages are suddenly gone for ORKS. There was promise, there was hope, and now there is despair. Spare tire in the back of a car.
Open a gap in the smoke. Big rotations there from Astralis. Buzz, normally the ramp player, drives over towards Yard. We also get the other rotation in from Borup, who's normally that A-site anchor, which makes it really difficult. It's been rough for ORKS, but as you said, sometimes you've got to learn lessons the hard way. Last round of the half then. AK's out with the Galils. They go for something faster. Oh, Device nice. Too quick on that one.
Is there one more round in this half for ORKS? Four players remain. 3 players remain. And again, Buzz and blameF together will melt. Dynamic duo on the CT side. Grown very quickly into his position. On this Astralis squad has Buzz. That is a confident first half on Nuke. I don't know if much better is around the corner once ORKS get to the CT side.
I can't miss no Beverly, you can't hold me. Knew that it was my time and I ain't need a rollie. P139, that's the word. This provision is precision, you ain't gotta see the worth. Every situation different. Trust if you feeling out of luck or if you stuck, homie, you just can't miss this. It's so easy, you be thinking it's absurd. Gotta see the glory in the hurt. I remember back in apartments, humble beginnings what I start with. I'm still humble if you checking out my car 10. 2% we wasn't dancing like like we Carlton. A product of the system living in our margins. Harvest all the planet. Seeds I've been demanding. Trees taken for granted. Faith just couldn't stand it. Standing on solid rock, now that's a firm foundation. We've been waiting and I'm praying. My God, he's a viral! The best in the game!
Welcome back! ORKS have so much to do on their CT side. They will be completely dependent on the pistol because they've only got 2 rounds from their T side. How many rounds could they get was the focus. 2 was the answer. With the P250 and the Florida Man pistol skin, device shows promise for Astralis. Maybe a quick one. Well, he's getting popped with the flashbang. There's some util here for ORKS. Astralis heading towards that B bomb site, forcing the util to be used by those ORKS. Vegi's lost now. Device is as well. Look at that trade from blameF though, jumping around the corner like Super Mario Brothers. 3 on 2. This is winnable by either side. It's a good headshot and a follow-up from SNX. Bomb falls to the floor. Olimp is alone then. 1v2. Certainly can be done in a pistol round. Bomb is planted. But where is Borup? Is he behind the site? He could be anywhere. Some pre-fire for Olimp. Borup's got a very good angle. Oh, that should have been a free one for him. Olimp wasn't even facing. But they will squeeze the pistol, and this could be the door they needed to open.
Yeah, a bit of a steal there in the pistol after getting into that 1-on-2. Olimp looked like he was going to have a really hard time in that final fight. But just got that flick onto Borup in the nick of time. What was that shot for a device? What a start that was. Buzz lurking around the smoke. It all looked so good. Then Olimp able to isolate that first duel. This was the follow-up. Couple of shots. You see they were close to headshots, but not quite. That means that Olimp is able to turn around onto Borup. Still got that force buy from Astralis, but that is exactly what ORKS needed. Now they need to hold on in this one as well.
Everybody's missed that headshot. The guy's looking the other way in a pistol round. I think I default to missing them. Obviously, big problem here is that the margin for error is quite small for ORKS. And the Astralis are simply a better team. So this is going to be very, very difficult. Miracles will be needed. Miracles sometimes happen. I've been to Lords, that's not sewage water. I haven't actually been to Lords. I was lying. Milky's got the anime gun, so surely he's in for a good time. No, never mind. Didn't like anime either. More of a Launders thing.
Well, Borup's making up for the pistol round pretty quick, isn't he? Oh, that's a team flash. He doesn't care, though. CT's now trying to push into lobby, but guess who's waiting? blameF. Ever hard to find. Ways where you least expect him. And Astralis have honestly made this look like they won the pistol and they were just dealing with an anti-eco. That's how clean this is.
Yeah, this is crazy. ORKS, the puppet to Astralis' strings in this game of Nuke. Success is very brief indeed. 14-3 then. Quite the turnaround. Back to them. Borup's just in full control. So, I think ORKS are learning the difficulty of picking a nuke versus a storied team such as Astralis.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, there's even a map for Astralis that has been weak for them lately. I think they've had a bit of time, obviously, to work on Nuke. I'd say that's pretty clear. So I do remember that game against Na'Vi where they really seemed like they just didn't have rotations. There was literally a round against Na'Vi where Na'Vi just went for the yard play, the yard smokes, and then went down to B, and Astralis never rotated anyone. And Na'Vi just won the round with everyone surviving. So Astralis, I think, have clearly worked on Nuke a bit after that map that maybe was an example of some errors that needed to be fixed. And the structure just looks so much better for Astralis than ORKS here. And on a map like Nuke, that structure oftentimes is what's going to make the difference.
Just got to wait and let Astralis make their play and try to do their best with it. The range was right, but the crosshair just couldn't find the target. They will pick up the slack from blameF, and that is going to cause more problems for ORKS as they just wonder where is Mayfa. Hold on a second, just like that, frags come from all over the shop. And they've managed to stay alive. They've kept Astralis off of that 15th round as well. I have no idea what happened there, but ORKS are still in the fight. I'd like to see what they can do on the CT side in some normal rounds. That one was a chaotic one, which went in their favor, and that's fine. But let's see if they can build on that now, when now they've got the good guns versus the force of Astralis. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, they made that into just an awkward, uncomfortable round there. And that's what they needed to do with their weak weapons. You see them get into lobby, get into annoying positions. Astralis not able to deal with it. Full of smokes down on yard for Astralis. Not enough that ORKS will be concerned, especially because they have Milky waiting down in secret. I do like that Milky's got the AK for this position as well. He wants to hold the stairs like that. You want the one-shot headshot, that's for sure. It could well come into play here because Astralis will now make their move on yard. All their smokes being used on those 3 wall of smokes to try and see if they can close the distance. And Milky flashed in, but the spray is so awkward. And Borat puts him down.
Gets rough quickly for ORKS, round after round. Still plenty of firepower remaining, however, but Vegi might be going towards the point of their attack, although they were lining up, but Buzz has the angle. HS will keep it competitive. The bomb still in the hands of Astralis. 4 on 3 as well. Pop flashing their way in. SNX waits for a play from Astralis. 29 seconds on the clock as the urgency as they move forward. Looking to pressure this A-bomb site. SNX has got a reasonable angle though. Will it be rewarded? Oh, he missed there. Just looking down as Stair appeared. HS no limp remain now. Device. It's got a very good position. It seems ORKS will give up on this one. Try to save what they can for the remainder of this game.
Looks like it. Vice is just so ready, though. I think HS may stay in secret. Vice himself may move in. Instead, just seemed to take damage somehow. Not sure how, but it's fine. He's just about alive. Just making sure they do indeed lock the round in. 15-4 for Astralis. ORKS can, I suppose, take some solace in the fact that they've got 1 round more than NIP did against Vitality over on the mainstream. It's a 63 for Vitality against NIP on the first map. Unfortunately for Milky, though, that was just such an AWPers spray there with the AK. Just a lot of body shots. Not able to finish the job. Borat replies with a headshot. That was the first domino that really allowed everything else to fall there. Can't afford to miss those kills.
The scout. Don't see crazy things with the scouts anymore. I still think about the Chris J highlights from many moons ago, but even those aside, like the scout's always a desperate attempt that fails. Stick an XM in your CS2 slot instead.
I kind of miss the days of the jump scout where it was like crazy accurate when you were jumping.
I don't miss that.
So much fun though.
Like that. I hated it. And there'll be no scouts, no more scouts in this round. Very brief indeed. Typical scout situation these days. How passive they are. Smell the desperation for ORKS. Have a look at the shadow. Slight warning there for Olimp. Always make sure your shadow settings are high. The higher your shadow setting is, the further away you can see them from. True in CS2 as well as CSGO. Very important setting to have.
Bomb's coming down lower. ORKS just had 3 players here, but 2 of them have left. We're a little concerned about that upper side, so Vegi's left alone. Gonna see if he can lock this down.
Nice one. If he can stay alive, he's got his teammate to play with as well. blameF surely gets traded here. Indeed, he does. ORKS winning the scrappy rounds on their CT side. Holding on for the time being. It's about $4,000 for a few of these Astralis players. So let's see what they choose to do with it. Buzz $1,750 in the bank, but there's enough money for them to pick up these AK-47s. Cameo Galil for Borat. Some util here and there. Just the one flashbang for the T side. In the hands of a team like Astralis, I am curious as to how they make a buy like this work.
I would maybe expect to see them look for fights on, well, either ramp or maybe squeaky. Well, those are the 2 positions. You can try and just find a pick if you're lacking utility. Walk at range is always a little scary to go up against. Reposition and a nice flash from Olimp. He'll try and establish himself again. Spots the bomb. The player jumping back, so calls for assistance. Gets onto that same angle again. Milky's in a good spot here. I think Olimp just try and run distraction as Milky does take initiative. He might get more out of this. He's got snare trapped. Smoke used defensively, but it's brought back to a 3-on-3. This is still competitive here.
blameF is still lurking. He could find a chance. We can see SNX is trying to hold down 2 jobs as the smoke will soon be gone in. Squeaky, his position will be compromised. Burst from blameF, and things get even more difficult for ORKS. Looking to defend on the bomb site now as Milky near the ramp will be proactive, it seems. The bomb site's completely open for now. Astralis still cutting noise. Carefully moving forward, but Milky might be in the right position. Still looking for Blame, who is coming around from the back. Will he come in time? Absolutely he will. Just when he sees the barrel of the gun. It's like blameF has all the information. SNX trying to do the rest though as Dare makes his way towards B. Enough time to plant this bomb for everywhere. SNX has the kit. Down events he goes. Now, he would have heard that door close. Give him some reasonable intel. Well, he's looking above him. Could he get there that fast though? Now he knows where he is, but can't do anything about it. Stare and Astralis win a comfortable game of Nuke versus ORKS.